Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the continuing episodes of my Fallout 4 playthrough. We have just finished our quest at Greentop Nursery, and have come to Diamond City to sell off some of our loot that we have been gathering.
It's what I live for.
I've got a few minutes to browse.
Anything and everything.
So our main purpose of coming to Diamond City is to purchase a residence here. There is one residence available that you can buy, and it's called Home Plate. It costs 2,000 caps. We have that, so we're going to gather up as much extra coins or caps as we can, and then we'll go purchase it. The one reason why I like the Diamond City residence is that it is the only one that is secure. If you make a residence at any other settlement, all of the residents and the traveling vendors have free reign to go anywhere within the settlement. And that includes any building or domicile that the player tends to make. It's one of the hardest things that I had to learn is that there's absolutely no security in any of the residences except for Diamond City. Now, some of the mods that you can get will allow you to build places that the residents and the settlers cannot go into. But if you use the vanilla construction packages that the game has, the nav meshes that allow the settlers and the NPCs and the vendors to go around inside the settlement, will allow them into any building that you create where you put a floor. And so that's just the way it is. And some of the settlers will just grab stuff, and it's a part of the way the settlement program works. Is that if a settler comes upon a container that contains a weapon or a armor that is better than the ones that they're wearing, they'll just take it. And if a vendor will come by and sees a weapon or a piece of armor, it will take it. They will take it. Trash Can Carla is notorious for that. If you leave a suit of power armor unattended very close to where she parks in Sanctuary, she will loot that power armor and start taking some of the equipment off of it. So there is no security here. Putting locks on the doors doesn't help. Putting doors up doesn't help. I even created one building one time which was totally encased. I mean totally encased in concrete foundation pieces. The floors were that, the walls were concrete foundation, and the ceiling was concrete foundation. And the settlers were still able to get inside. There were no doors, there were no windows, there was nothing. And the settlers were able to get inside and loot stuff from my containers. And so I learned then that under no circumstances were the buildings made in a settlement in any way secure. I also learned some other things during that, but those are parts of things that are unique to settlement building. For instance, I saw a video one time where some guy was trying to secure some of the buildings at Sanctuary Hills, that some of the metal houses. And so he was plugging the holes in the roof with platforms that were made out of the flooring material. And so he would go over to one of the empty concrete pads, and he would create a second floor, if you will, and put various floors and crisscross them. And then he would use the carpet glitch, and he would place those inside the various metal houses that were messed up. As a result, you could not see through the holes in the roof, but when it rained, it still let the rain in, and I couldn't figure out why it was doing that. And it ends up being that floors are not waterproof in the construction modules of the game. If you want to stop rain, you have to use a roof. So I learned that. And also, if you use floors, sometimes when you come into a settlement that you've done that, you'll find your settlers standing on the roof because the computer's nav mesh says that that's a floor and that that's where they can go and stand. And so they'll be standing there on top of the roof, watching it rain sometimes. And you go, what in the world are they doing up there? And that doesn't explain why at the few sessions ago that Preston was on top of the roof of the Yellow House in Sanctuary Hills. But that's one of the things that happens. Anyway, what I decided to do, I had gone up to the secretary at Diamond City to buy my property, and she was asleep. So I went back, and I, even though Percy had given me all of his caps, I went back and traded him for some ammunition and some other things that I needed in order to make life better. And so now I'm going through Sanctuary Hills and the Starlight Drive-In, and I'm picking up whatever loot that I need from there, refilling the stuff that I can sell. And nothing seems to be here, so okay. Which is odd because the water has been running for a while and there aren't that many settlers, but okay. I don't know why I didn't go check the Sunshine Co-op, but I didn't. I just Sanctuary Hills and Starlight, and then back to Diamond City. I left during the night, and I came back during the night. I don't understand that. So it takes almost a full day to make the route from Diamond City to Sanctuary Hills, and then back to Starlight, and then back to Diamond City.
We sell everything.
We'll see if Percy's got any more coins, caps for us. I don't know why I have a hard time remembering that it's caps. So evidently during my trading with Percy, I gave him some money. And so that's one of the reasons why I made the run to go and see if I can get more stuff to trade, because I got below my 2,000 caps to buy the house. So we'll get that 700 back, or as close to it as I can, so that I can get over 2,000 and buy my piece of property and become a landowner. Ha! Trying to decide if there's any more I can do without. Get rid of some of the junk. Don't need all of that. You know, I still have not picked up the gold bars. And those are worth, like I say, 175 a piece or something like that. They would have been more than enough at this point.
Trade, we're always open.
So, knowing full well that the secretary's on asleep upstairs, I'm just going to park myself right here and do a wait until the morning. And that way I can go up and buy this property and get started on cleaning it out. I generally don't like to wait, simply because to me that's just wasted time. And I'd much rather be off doing something else, but I want to get this this property and get this whole thing started, so we'll just wait it out. It's only like 15-20 seconds. But it was what, 14 hours in game, and that, you know, we lost a day. It's not a big deal, but it's just one of those things. So, we're back up here to the mayor's office, and she's here now.
Mayor's in no mood to talk about any of this synth nonsense. Unless you're looking for a housing permit, I can't help you.
Well, let's hear about the permit.
We have one home available. It's in the center of town, right near the market. You can do whatever you like with the interior, and all the tools you need to make your own furnishings are provided at no extra charge.
I'll take it.
Here's the key. Let me be the first to welcome you as a resident of the Great Green Jewel.
Yay! I don't know why the skyline is clipping. Every once in a while that happens here at Diamond City. It's kind of weird. I've never been able to figure out what the clipping is associated with. The more we get towards ground level, the more the clipping goes away. There was an edit there because when I first did this, I thought, well, it'd be kind of nice to do the end of the episode at that point. And so I had gone back up to the mayor's to ride back down and give the panoramic view as I was coming back down. And that's when I noticed the clipping. So I edited the second ride out. Now we are inside home plate, which is just a big warehouse. And I immediately go to scrapping. And I scrap everything. Like I say, I had learned that when you scrap containers, the contents of the containers are placed into the workshop, so there is absolutely no reason to go around and try to find out what's inside these containers before you scrap them. Just scrap everything. And so I do. I always take that sofa and put it where I can sit. That's about the only thing that I keep. And that's only because otherwise I'd have to create a new one. There is some other furniture that's available here that could be used. I just don't do that. I don't do much in the way of house building here. I put enough, like a seat, so that I can sit down when I want to wait or when I want to quit. There's still something out there, but I missed it. But maybe somewhere along the line I'll see it. And I leave the bed. Those are the two things that I just leave, and everything else I scrap. And there we are. Go to the workshop, pick up all the pieces that were looted. Leave the junk. Take the junk that's good for being used for settlement building and defensive purposes. And we're done. Now, when I come in that door, it recognizes that I've found the house, but it doesn't put the fast travel mark in. That only happens when you go in the blue door. So that's the reason why I went out the red door and came back in the blue door. And now the house has been claimed and is fully the players or mine. And now it's time to actually start doing stuff. The first thing that I do is I put down some containers. And what I'm looking for is the bobblehead shelf. Because I have a couple of bobbleheads I'd like to get rid of, thank you. And I have no idea where it is. Because of the mods that I've put, these menu selections get changed around quite a bit, and so it takes a while to figure out where everything's at. And why it's not under display, I don't know. And I need some fiberglass to build it. So even after all that, I can't. That's frustrating. But I can put some magazine racks out, and that will give me some place to put the magazines when I get them. So we'll just put them here at the end of the house. It's a good place for them. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but somebody's mowing a lawn outside my house. So there's lawnmower sound in the soundtrack. And while I normally would wait for it to go away, it's been a while since I've done any upload, so it's important that I get this finished and uploaded so that I can get back onto a track of gameplay and upload. Now what I'm doing is I'm looking for containers to put down, and then I sort things out as far as things that I want to keep, things that I want to sell, explosives. In this case, I'm going to put my legendary in there, and here I'm going to put whatever magazines that I have, and I only have one right now. And what I'll do now is go back to Sanctuary, and I have that trunk up there that I've been storing stuff in, and so I'll go up there and get it, get all the stuff from it, bring it down to Sanctuary, or down to Diamond City, because it's not secure up here, it's only secure down there. I don't know why I've got that junk, but why not? We'll just take everything here that we can. Should be able to take it all. I wish sometime I would pick up the gold bars so that I could sell them. We'll get rid of the steamer trunk, and we'll get rid of the bed that I was sleeping on there. And we'll turn this whole thing over to the Sanctuary Hills settlers.
Huh?
See if Carla's reloaded on her
Back
caps.
again? Time to do business?
I've got a few minutes to browse.
Always happy to make a sale.
And she did, so we'll sell her some stuff. As I've said before, I'm a pack rat, so I will keep all of the legendary items, even though I never use them. And so we'll keep those and save. I'm trying to save the corn. Don't want to get rid of any of that. So I don't have much, but I do want to get as much as I can. So sell her some of the ammo I don't need or use, and try to get these things to where I have a little more money. And that should be all I can get from her for present. And we'll go back to Diamond City. This time I have home plate as a target. And so we'll just go directly to the house. Create a few more containers to put stuff in. Oh, I know why I was taking the junk. I was getting the fiberglass that I needed in order to create the bobblehead stand. Okay. I knew more about it than in-game than I did while I was talking about it. So now we'll pop the bobbleheads on. And go over here and get rid of some of the magazines. I will come over here and create some containers and get rid of some stuff. So I'll create a container for weapons and armor and books and stuff that won't go onto the magazine shelf, but that I want to keep. When I do this, I make containers of different types and sizes and styles, just to make them different. I already have a green one, so I'll put a red one down, and then put a green military one. And then a yellow box. I don't like putting the vaults down, the blue ones. I'm not happy with Vault-Tec, and I don't particularly want to support them in any way, so I don't do anything that reminds me of Vault-Tec. So now that I've got these, I'll just go by and go drop some stuff in. Get rid of the weapons that I want to keep and use. They're not legendary. I will put the legendaries in a different one. I don't know why I put them in there, because the green one has it, but I guess I'll go take... I guess the green one is legendary armor. I don't know. I'll pick one of these to be something that I just want to keep stuff in. So, for instance, my wedding ring, I'll put in there. And then anything else that is personal that I want to keep. Here I will put various books, magazines, holotapes, things that I want to keep. I'll put in this one. So I will continue to be placing stuff in the various containers and sort out the loot. The mods I put into the workshop, so they're available if I ever create actual workbenches. But we're at 28 minutes, and so that's going to be the end of this episode. And I will be finishing up placing stuff inside the workshop, and then go sit down. At which point I'll save, and that'll be the end of this episode. So I'd like to thank you for watching and being a part of the crowd. And with that, I'll say goodbye for now, and hope you had a good time, and take care. We'll see you next time. Have a good one until then.